now live. Hello all. Get it up on my iPad. So that way I can see questions. Here we are. Swipe over. And let's see if it's going to show me the captions. It's not, so let me. No, it says they're on. There we go. Well, Teresa's on. Hello, Teresa. Give it a few minutes and see if anybody else wants to hop on. Anthony, will you tag, I believe it was Sandy from yesterday that wanted to know?
I believe so.
If you'll just see if you can do a quick check from yesterday. I'm going to be, hey Alexis, how are you? I'm going to be using the Ornament Magic to actually do a few things, not just ornaments today. We're going to do pen, cup, and ornaments. Hello. Pretty good. And yourself? I'm doing pretty good today. Today was kind of crazy with prints, everybody trying to get them in last minute, but finally got all those done, and now I can take a break to go over this. Were you able to find it, kid?
No, because it's not giving me all the comments, even though it says I'm on all comments.
Let me see.
Should have wrote it. Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it was Sandy, but let me see if I can find it right quick. Hang on just a second, guys. Let's see, it was in part 2. I know it was close to the end of the video. Yes, it was Sandy. Sandy Brentlinger. We'll get her tagged. Right? You're excited for the live you've been done. Oh, hey, cool. Yeah. Yeah. Usually right before a holiday is kind of crazy because everybody's freaking out trying to get last minute prints and get them done and on shirts in time for Thanksgiving or the holiday, whatever's coming up. So the few days leading up to the holiday is usually kind of chaotic. That's okay. I'll take chaos over nothing. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a few things, so even if somebody joins a little bit later, they can kind of hop on and catch up with the next thing that we do. Because I'm going to be doing a storyboard tumbler today. I'm going to be doing a pen and a couple of ornaments. So we will...
Hello, Sandy.
Oh, there's Sandy. Hi, Sandy. All right. So I just have the little plastic ornaments. I think these all came from the Dollar Tree. This one was like actually a pack of 2. The big one was just by itself. But go ahead and pull up the little pulley thingy. I don't know, the hanger, I guess is what we call it. There we go. Words, Michelle, words. So this is the Ornament Magic that I was telling y'all about in my second part of my cup live yesterday. And so I wanted to show everybody how to use it. It is from the Crystalac company. I did put the link in the video, so hopefully y'all can find it a little easier. This bottle, I do not know which size this is because it does not say. I think they have a 4 ounce and a 12 ounce, I think is what their two sizes are, so this would be the 12 ounce. The 4 ounce is kind of like a school glue bottle, kind of what it looks like, but I'm going to use this. Some people also use polyacrylic, and that's okay too. I used that before I found this. I don't know, I like this better, but polyacrylic does work just as well. So what you do is you're going to take your Ornament Magic and you squeeze some in here. I don't try to be precise or nothing, but I take and I squeeze some in, and then you can kind of see how it's like a milky white looking. You literally just roll it around and make sure that you're covering the entire inside surface. And I just, like, as I'm rotating it around, I just slowly start to tilt it up. And you can see through the ornament and kind of see where it's going. This is where it gets tricky whenever you get to the rim like it is now. You kind of just have to carefully pour and tilt. And pour and tilt and turn. That's the only part that gets really kind of tricky. So once you get all that covered, I just kind of take and I kind of bounce the excess out, and then I'm going to leave it setting in my cup until it starts to turn clear. There's one little spot that doesn't want to coat. See if we can get that little bit back in there and coat it. Alright, I think that actually got it. So, like I said, we're just going to set that in there. You can see how it's kind of milky looking, and then you can see where it's kind of dripping out of there. We want all of that to drip out of there. We don't want the dripping left in there. We don't want like puddles of it left in there, because if so, then you're going to have like this huge clump of glitter, and it doesn't look very, very nice. So, normally when I'm doing these, I would have kind of a couple of cups just set, and then I would be rotating them out as I go. So kind of the same thing, kind of come back. If it doesn't get everything, tilt it as you go. And just keep going around. Now, I will say I usually recommend doing fine glitters in these also. I do have what's called dot glitter today that I'm going to try. I've never tried the dot glitter in it. I've tried chunky glitter, and it's okay, but you just don't get great coverage. Ooh, actually poured that on my hand. Which, this stuff is not toxic, so if you get it on your hands, it's not going to hurt you. Just wipe it off, clean it off, wash your hands. Don't put it in your mouth. You know, all those common sense things. Alright, so we're going to let both of those, kind of have some air bubbles in this one. Let's see if we can knock out the air bubbles. We don't want air bubbles in here. Let's see. Come on, air bubbles. I'm going to take and pour some of this back in here, see if I can kind of, for lack of better words, rinse those air bubbles back out. Just kind of get the coating back over here. There we go. Kind of rinse and wash them out that side, so we don't want air bubbles left in our ornament. There we go. Okay. So while these two are doing their thing, I'm going to grab this other little cup. And then I love using these pens, the RSVP pens. I've used them for, goodness gracious, years upon years upon years. They're my favorite. I love them. I love the fine ones. So I already took the thing out of this one that I'm going to use. But you just make sure you unscrew this, take this part out. You can actually just leave this together because that'll be all on the side. We'll just be messing with this part right here. So we just don't want the cap on it because we need the both ends open. Set that over there. Okay. So for the pen, what we're going to do is you're going to kind of take your finger and you're going to plug up one of the ends because you don't want it running out the other end. So we're just going to take and kind of plug up one end. You're going to take and pour this in and kind of let it work its way down. It is a smaller hole, so it kind of wants to create a bubble. There we go. So I let it kind of run to the other end. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat today, guys. I'm sorry. I kind of let it run to the other end just to fill in that cap. And then I'll just kind of take, and you don't really want to like close it off like this because then it doesn't have the air to move. So you just kind of take and use your finger to kind of hold it in there. And I'm just going to carefully let go of this end to get that airflow in here, to get that Ornament Magic flowing back and forth. It is a smaller surface, so it can be a little cranky to work with, but it's essentially the same thing, same kind of technique. Put it in there, let it roll around, and coat the entire surface. Let's see, I can see that I've got a space there. There we go. This one gets a little harder. You can't exactly, well, I guess you could, but then you'd have a mess to clean up. You can't really just stick it in the cup. So I kind of just hold this one for a minute and let this kind of run out. Sorry, I didn't mean to shake the camera. Got air bubbles stuck right in the middle. There we go. So just kind of let that drain out. This one's looking pretty good. You can kind of see when it goes from white to clear is when it's getting ready to be able to actually put the glitter in. Inside the pin too. See if we can get them to come out of there. Whoop, come back. Sorry if anybody's missed anything. Okay. Bubble's almost at the end. You can still see it. It's working on it. Those threads on the outside, they had kind of a build up on them. Almost got that bubble out of there. It's at the end now. I'm just going to take and kind of sit this one on my silicone mat here. Kind of let it finish draining and all that fun stuff. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. I'm going to go ahead and put the Ornament Magic in this so it can be draining while I start on the first ornament. Kind of just keep a rotating cycle whenever I do this normally at home anyway. So we're going to kind of do the same thing here. So for this is those storyboards, kind of the original like snow globe-y kind of cup. I don't like using them for snow globes because you have to do so much to seal them. So I do like using them for this purpose. But essentially whatever you're using, it's going to be the same technique over and over again. You squirt some of the Ornament Magic in, and you just work it around the entire inside surface of that object. You want to do something that is clear, obviously, so that you can see your pretty glitter or whatever you put on the inside. I've only done these with glitter. I don't know. I'm sure you could probably do like mica powders. I don't know if foils would work or not. That may be something we could try. Might be interesting. But essentially just the same technique over and over again. You just have to make sure that you're not missing any spaces. And kind of like I'm doing here, you can see, hopefully you can kind of see that gap there that doesn't have any in it. Maybe from overhead if you can see right here. So I just take and let it kind of puddle up, and then you kind of roll it back and forth over that area, and it usually will fill in. If you need to, you can always squirt some more of the Ornament Magic in there, just to fill that in if it's not coating. Typically, you let it puddle up, it'll cover. This is kind of a balancing act to do the cup to make sure it doesn't pour out one end or the other until you're ready. So, I always keep this end over my cup once I start to get towards the end because it is going to pour out some. And I don't want to mess all over my table. Or my silicone mat, really. I know it'll come off, but still. I want it on the outside of my cup. We are almost there. Hope everyone had a good Monday. I know most people are off work by now, at least, well, Eastern and Central probably. 5:24 here in Texas. It's different to be in a group that's got people all over the United States. I'm used to just having my peeps in Texas. But it's okay, I find it interesting. Work it around this rim, get back over here to where we can get this air bubble knocked out. Perfect. Alright, so I'm just going to set this upside down in my cup, and we're going to let that drain. Okay, so now for the fun stuff, we get to play with glitter. All things sparkly. Alright, let's take a look at this one. Didn't have it exactly sitting very flush in my cup, so we got a little build up on that one side. See if we can work it down. Yeah, there we go. Make sure and set that a little more straighter. Let's check this one. This guy's looking good. We're still kind of cloudy on the bottom of this one, so hopefully that one should be done though by the time we get done with our first one. So I'm just going to take and just kind of blot off that outside edge because I don't want a whole gunk mess in here. Pour that into that one just to kind of keep it all contained. Had some on the outside that I didn't realize. That's okay. It'll clean off with like Clorox wipe. You're good. So now at this point, all you gotta do is get your glitter in here. Let me find a little piece of paper. Make a little funnel almost. Let's see, yeah. Because it is not easy to pour glitter out of that bottle into this ornament. So, get us a little makeshift funnel here on my
You don't
tape.
have a funnel.
Huh?
I said I'm surprised you don't have a funnel.
I have little funnels, but they're like, for the snow globes, they're tiny. To get the glycerin and water mix inside the snow globes, I have those little funnels, but I think it would take forever to get glitter through one of those. Oh, come on. I had it and then I let go of it to pull my tape off. Alright, let's see here. It's just going to keep unrolling on me. That's okay because I'm persistent. If you'll learn anything about me, it's that I'm persistent. I can be very cranky when I want to be. Alright, so now we're going to put our little funnel in our ornament. And then we're just going to pour our glitter in. And then you just cap the hole with your finger and shake. And there we go. Now we've got it all in there. There's usually not very much in there. Huh?
I said green.
Green, yeah, very green. There's usually not a whole lot. I mean, as long as you don't put like a crazy amount in there, there's usually not a whole lot left that'll come out. But that's pretty much all there is to it. And you just take and let this dry. I don't know if they have a recommended time. I usually give it like an hour or so before I cap it. I want it to make sure that it's good and dry so it doesn't set up mold or anything else like that on the inside of my ornament. But that's pretty much what it is for all of them. Oh, I had more glitter in there. Did y'all see that fall out? Tapped and it went. Make sure all that's out of there. There we go. So yeah, that is essentially what we're going to do on all of these. Make green. Let's look at this one. Again, I take and wipe off my rim just so I don't have an excess just overflowing onto my hand. I don't see any puddles or anything in this one, so this one's good to go. This one I'm going to use our West Texas Tornado glitter. This one is exclusive just to us. We got to make our own mix. Oh, I haven't even opened this bottle. I have my open bottle at home that I made that one with, so. But this one, we're going to do the same thing. Make sure there's no green glitter in my funnel. I don't want green with my purple and blue and silver. I'm going to pour a little bit more in this one. It is a bigger ornament. Same thing. This one's going to take a little more covering up. But same exact process. And there we are. So now this one's covered. There we go. See? Now we've got that one. It's really a pretty simple process. I'm going to have a whole calamity, whatever. A whole bunch of glitter on my table before we're done. Alright. And that one is, there is, let's see, there's two fine cuts, fine-ish, I think they're fine-ish cuts, and there's a shatter cut in this one. So the silver is actually like a silver shatter, like glass effect. I thought it was cool for our West Texas Tornado, you know, broken glass with any tornado. So I thought that was pretty neat to have in there. Alright, so we're just going to tap out that last little bit of excess that's on the end of our pen. And then we're going to do the same thing for our pen. Let's see if my funnel is too big for the pen. Okay, let's see. Do I have one of those little bitty baby funnels over here? I don't have one over here. Hang on, I'll be right back. Huh?
No, those.
Yeah, these.
Okay.
They're little.
Oh yeah, it would take.
I'm hoping it'll fit in the pen. We're fixing to find out. Oh, look at there, just barely it does fit. I got a little baby funnel. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to use Bomb Diggity. I love pink. It's a bright pink. Nah.
Oh.
Yeah, forgot to close off the other end. Don't do what I just did. Two-ended items, you know. That's okay. See. Ah, there we go. I was like, how did I do my last one? That's how I did it. And there's our pen. So, again, the same thing. You just want to make sure that you didn't close up the other end. Make sure that's nice and open still, and mine is. I can still see all the way through it.
Sandy said, so pretty.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, there's the pen. Make sure that you let the pen dry before you try to put the ink back in, because I made a mistake of putting mine in when it was still wet last time I did this on a pen. And I have a nice little scrape down the side, so just be careful and let this dry. But yeah, so there's our pen. All nice and pretty pink.
Sandy asked, where do you buy your pens for those?
These are RSV pens by Pentel. I get these either on Amazon or at Walmart. I buy like, I think it's either a 12 or a 24 pack typically on Amazon, because these are my favorite pens. And I'm typically the only one here that likes to use them because they're fine point, and my guys here don't like fine point, so I always know when somebody took my pen too. But yes, these are Pentel RSVP pens, Walmart, Amazon. I mean, I would say any office supply store or anywhere that sells pens. These are a pretty typical pen, and they're pretty cheap. Like, I could even find these at the Dollar Tree for a while, 2 of them for $1.25. So you might even check there. But yeah, that's where I get these from. I like fine point too. Yeah, I love me some fine point pens. The bold other ones, I don't know. It's just not me. I like my fine. Alright, let's see how our cup is doing. We've got a little drip coming down the side. I don't know if y'all can see that in the camera right there. So, see if we can work that back down to this end. And get that out of there so we don't have just a clump. And then we'll put glitter in this guy. And wipe off my outside again. I think I pulled some from the inside to the outside when I did that. Alright, guy. Come on. It's like he doesn't want to go down, doesn't want to go sideways. See if we can help him move around. So we don't want clumpies in our cup. Come on, little man. Slowly getting him to thin out. See if maybe I can warm it up. It is a little chilly in here. It's super duper cold outside where we are. think we have a cold front blowing in.
Right, especially with this wind.
Yeah, the wind is crazy. The temperatures have dropped. It's 50 something right now. I think it was warmer outside when we came to work than it is right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
The wind is blowing our door open.
Yeah.
The whole time today.
Yeah. All right. Move that out of the way. I should have put my folder down. That's okay. I am going to grab my folder for this one, though, because it's a little harder to keep inside the cup.
Well, you don't want to glitter everywhere?
Well, you know, I'm okay with glitter everywhere. You should see my craft room. You walk in there barefooted, you're walking out with glitter on your feet. All right. Wipe that off. Okay. So now, like I said, this one's a little more complicated because you got big open ends on both. So this one you just kind of take and pour it in. Kind of rotate it around. Kind of the same way as applying the Ornament Magic. You just apply your glitter this time instead of the Ornament Magic. And then it gets hard to see whenever it's coated because you can't see through the cup anymore.
I think that applied really well.
I think it did too. The dots worked great. I'm super happy with that. Yeah, there we go. The only thing I'm going to do on my cup is I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to smooth down anything that's sticking up on this edge, because when we go to put our storyboard part back in, we don't want to have them like already solidified poking out the top, because then it doesn't all fit back together right. But I am really happy with how that turned out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Feliz Navidad's worked great. So I think on the cups, because the dots are kind of big and chunky too, so I think on a cups, like where it's got a bigger, flatter surface area, I think chunkies would be great too. I just don't like them in here because with the rounded surface and the chunks are so big, you really get like empty spots when you're working on the ornaments. Definitely wouldn't do chunky on a pin. But I think chunky in the cups would be great. I think that's awesome. Looks great. Coverage looks good.
Yeah, that turned out really pretty.
Yeah. So, chunky and dots in a cup? Yes. Absolutely. So, again, always want to make sure that these are completely dry. You don't want it to set up mold or anything like that in your cup, in your ornaments, in your pens, nothing like that. So, I always let mine dry. Typically, I end up crafting at night anyway, since I work all day here at the store. So I'll just let them dry until the next day, come back, put everything back together. But if you can't wait that long, at least give them like an hour to dry before you close them up, just to be on the safe side. This stuff does dry pretty quickly, but we don't want any hazardous mold in our stuff. So, but yeah, that's our process of the Ornament Magic. I love this stuff. Like I said, some people use polyacrylic. I used polyacrylic until I found Ornament Magic, and it works fine. But I don't know, I really liked the way that this stuff hangs on and coats and works very nicely with the ornaments. I mean, that is what it's made for, so it works nice for that. But I was just going to do ornaments, and then I thought, no, you know what? I'm going to show pens and cups too. So I've done them before, so I wanted to share with everybody that it's not just for ornaments. It's really for any acrylic or plastic or even the glass ornaments, you know, just a clear surface that you could apply the Ornament Magic to and see through it whenever it's dry. So, but yeah, that's just kind of a overview of the Ornament Magic and how it kind of works and how to do it and all of that fun stuff. So does anybody have any questions for me? You want to see anything else? Anything? Just let me know. I'm going to kind of clean up my mess while I see if y'all have questions for me.
Sandy said, learned so much from you.
Awesome. I'm glad, Sandy. Thank you. That is what I hope to do going live and teaching now, instead of just teaching the people that are able to make it here in my store, be able to reach and teach more and more and more people.
Patty said thank you again, and Alexis also asked, do you sell the story tumblers in store?
We do. It's kind of a funny story. Look at there. Did y'all see that? I just touched the inside with my finger. Let me coat that and then I'll do it. We kind of ended up with these by accident, but I don't have them typically in the store. We kind of have a back stock back here that we have for classes. If you would like to get some, Alexis, I do have some. I know you're here in town. You're one of my ladies from here. So if you want some, swing by or send me a message and we can definitely get you some. But yeah, I love to teach, so I hope to hop on here and do some lives. I also have my Create with Michelle Facebook. If you're not a part of that, please join that. And I'll be going live there too. I will probably go live a little more there than in this big group, but we're working on trying to see if I can go live in both places at once, so I'm not worried about having to bounce back and forth and do the same thing on both places. But all learning. We're learning. We're gonna roll with it.
Teresa said thank you, learned what I needed to, thanks a bunch. And Alexis also said awesome, thank you so much.
Y'all are both very, very welcome. So we'll hang out here while I clean up my mess. See if anybody else has questions.
Sandy said, I subscribed to your YouTube, but it says you don't have anything there.
It's new. I'm working on it. We don't have anything on our YouTube just yet. We have figured out on our OBS software that I use to go live how to go live in both places. So now that we figured that out, we can go live on our Facebook group, and I can also go live on my YouTube to start getting stuff there as well. So videos are coming soon, I promise.
She said, okay, well, I'm there and waiting.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Chunky glitter. Hard to get off the table. I should really buy stock and disinfectant wipes. I use so many of them. Glitter's just hard to get off of silicone, period. It just is what it is. These few stubborn pieces don't want to come off.
Oh, did you put your glitter back on the spot you touched?
I did.
Okay.
I did, yes. That's what made the dot mess on my mat. That's okay. I know I'm a little OCD about being clean. Crafters aren't always clean, but I don't know. I can't handle it a mess, so kind of a weird crafter in that way, I suppose. Let's see, what was that? Twist that, twist that. I don't know what that was. Oh. Miss Sandy, are you still on here? If so, I want to say thank you for your order.
Yes.
We did ship it out today. If you have any questions about anything that you ordered, let me know. I noticed you ordered printed HTV from us. Our HTV is a little different than a lot of people out there because we laminate ours. So when you get ready to cut it, mirror your cut and print side down like you would any other HTV. And it's pressed at 305 for 10 to 15 seconds and peel warm. But if you have any questions about anything you ordered, please just reach out to me and I will help you out. I almost got it. guys. Alright, well, I'm going to get off of here. And like I said, if y'all have any questions, just let me know. And I will see y'all later. Bye, everybody.